What up, YouTube? This my 1 year review as a box truck owner operator. My authority as of now has been active a full year. Went active last year of 2021 of March, and I'm still here. I'm still thriving. In this video, I'm gonna be giving my advice and talk a little bit about my journey of how I got here and where I'm at now. So first things first, when my authority went active, I actually was working the company driver. I was working a 9 to 5. I do have my CDLA, and I was doing my box truck business on the side because another reason, because I was trying to get a house. So you need a long work history to get a house. So I stayed at my job. So, and I wanted my authority to first went active. I took a week off at my job, and I was trying to go OTR that first week that I was off, and actually I didn't have no luck when no brokers messing with me. I don't know what I know now, so I struggled, and I only had a week. I didn't have a long time to figure it out, and I couldn't go too far. I had to choose my loads wisely because I had to be back at the house that next week. So I end up doing Amazon. My first week doing Amazon, I made like 1,200, and that was enough for me because I bought my truck. I ended up purchasing my truck for 6,700. It's a 2005 Hino. And I'm gonna make a video on how I bought my truck because I got it for a deal even at that time. And the market prices for a box truck wasn't how it is now. So, and I still got a deal for it because at that time, box trucks was going for 12.5. He knows the lowest I seen was 12.5, and I was finna get a Hino for that price before I actually found my truck. But the regular price, the average price for a Hino, like 15 to 17 to 18, some 20. So bought my truck, and I want to get into this too. I want to talk about a little bit how the box truck industry has grown, because when I first started doing my research, it was the pandemic year, and this was August of 2020 when I was actually in CDL school, when I came across a video and I heard about the box truck business. It was only one YouTuber then, and it wasn't as much information as it is now, and that's good. It's just crazy how the box truck game has grown. Like, it's so many YouTubers now, but back then it was only like one. It was Chill is Jazz, and it was maybe a couple more, but it wasn't nobody. It wasn't Demetrius B trucking out the box, Big Vic. It wasn't nobody. It was on the Chill is Jazz and a couple more YouTubers that's not in the box truck. I don't know if they in the box truck business or not, but they haven't made no videos. So, at that time it wasn't nobody doing it. So, but even before I got into a truck, and it's another thing for new owner ops that I can't stress this enough, you need to do your research. If you just because you got money don't mean you don't need to do research. Do as much research as possible. Before I got into the game, I set up my LLC, I set up my own authority, and I'm legit. I ain't had no problems. My authority to get active, did all that myself, and it was all from research off YouTube, watching YouTube videos, even outside of being in the box truck business, just watching YouTube videos on how to get your authority being active. It's a video on YouTube that'll walk you through the whole thing. It's not that hard. Just did all the research I could do as possible, and I end up story on not doing research. Before I got into the business, I had a homeboy that was in the business too. He got a semi now. What he was paying on his box truck for insurance, he was paying $1,500 a month. And he had the CDLs. What I pay is $837, and that's just from doing my research. And he didn't do his research. He didn't even, at that time, it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't that many YouTube videos. He didn't even have his DOT number, his MC number on his truck, and he ended up getting a fine. You know what I'm saying? And that's just from the fact he didn't do his research. To the box truck business, I can't stress it enough, man. You gotta do your research. You gotta do your research. If you can pay for a course, and it can be helpful, but if you don't do your research on just the general things, you're not gonna you're not gonna be successful. So you gotta do your research. If you gotta pay for a course, that's cool too. But just make sure you do your research too, because you might be able to save some money. You might be able to save some money. But ain't nothing wrong with paying for courses or paying for mentorship. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You just gotta, I just say, do your research, man. You gotta be in charge of your own business. You know, so another thing, uh, so I'm a year strong in the business, and it's going good. I've experienced growing pains. I'll tell you another thing about my growing pains is for plan. I feel like any new owner ops, this is my first business. Anybody that's starting their first business, you should have a business plan. And you just need to have a plan, and you need to have goals. When I quit my job, I was accomplished. I feel like I was at the top, and I knew, and back of my mind, I knew I wasn't where needed to be, but I still felt like it, and I got lazy, and I stopped setting goals because I had already accomplished all my goals. I already set out that out, because when I got my job, started my job as a CDL driver, I knew I wanted to buy a house, and I wanted to start a trucking business. And once I accomplished them goals, I felt like I made it. But I knew I ain't made shit. But I just felt like I made it, and that made me lazy. So you gotta be hard on yourself. You gotta go hard. You gotta have a plan. You gotta have set goals for yourself, and accomplish your goals and knock it down, and you gonna win. You know what I'm saying? So any new owner ops, I can't stress that enough either, man. Set goals for yourself. Have a business plan. Have a plan for yourself. Plan for yourself on, have stuff already thought out, like what you gonna pay yourself. Have system. Try to get a system in place as soon as possible. Like all these things gonna help you. So, you know, that's just something to keep in mind. When I first started, another growing pain when I first started, when I went full time, everybody want to say, okay, I'm an entrepreneur, I can work when I want to. Man, that's not the way. You got to go harder than you was at your job or whatever you was doing outside of this business. You got to go hard, because if you don't work, you don't eat. That's what I live by. If you don't work, you don't eat, period. If you ain't working, you ain't going to eat. So, you got to go hard. I ain't know I'm a chill. I'm an entrepreneur. I can work when I get ready. Everybody think it's sweet, this entrepreneur life sweet, but it ain't. You got to put in that work. You got to grind. You got to do what others not. Separate yourself from everybody else. You feel me? So that's what you got to do in this business, man. You got to grind. And I got the drive to grind and to go get it and to go get the money. But at that time, I just got lazy. I feel like, and that's what hindered me. That's something I had to learn through trial and error. That was 2021, the last part of 2021, 2022. I've been in grind mode since January 1st. Grind mode, OTR. I'm never home, because I'm in grind mode. I got goals in place, and I think I'm headed in the right track, and I think I'm going to win. Well, I know I'm going to win. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm going to get it. I know I'm going to win. Everything's been good these 3 months of 2022. I've been stacking up. I'm looking to find a new employee. I'm finna scale up. I'm dispatching myself. And there's so much information, not even in the box truck business. It's information on government loads on here. Like the transportation industry is where it's at. So if you're thinking about getting into it, man, don't let nobody discourage you. You can win. You just gotta have the right mindset, the right systems to go in place. So you can win at this, man. It's a great opportunity for us, for everybody to hop in the transportation industry. I know it's like a trend now, but everybody not gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? Because people think it's easy. It ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? You gotta put in that grind, and you gotta have a plan. You gotta keep track of what's coming in, because you're making a lot of money, but them expenses coming out, that's another thing. And what you gross ain't what you net. So, You might gross 10,000 in 1 week, but what you net. So you just got to keep that in mind, But everything, you should be netting good if you do everything right. You know what I'm saying? So, this business has been good. A lot of saturation going on. And I still feel like it's enough money for everybody too, though. Way you could do your research is Facebook groups. Facebook groups is probably the most informative, be more informative on them Facebook groups than it is on YouTube, for the simple fact that you can just ask a question, and so many people in the Facebook group that's been in the game for like 5 or 6 years. That's what I love about the Facebook group. It's people on there that's been in the game 5 or 6 years, that's well established, got semis, box trucks, Sprinter vans, the whole nine. Maybe got a government contract, got all of that. They on the Facebook groups, and they can answer questions, and they can give you advice. I can say the Facebook groups is better than YouTube as far as information, but YouTube is still right there. It's not a long shot, but them Facebook groups is very helpful. Even stuff about mechanical issues with your truck, you can ask a question in the group, and somebody might have went through the same type of mechanical issue. If you paid cash for your truck, you ain't got no rental, because I got a rental now, but I didn't have a rental I just got a rental like in February, but all of last year I didn't have a rental. So if something would go on with my truck, I might ask a question in the group, and somebody hit me like, oh man, I had the same problem. This what was going on when I had that problem, and this how much it cost me. That's very helpful. So, it's just something to think about, and hopefully this video helps y'all.